Hi, I'm Lon Schiffbauer. In this video series, we've been discussing the Tuckman Model. Those are the 5 stages that teams go through to come together and then eventually disband as a team. These are forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Now, we've already talked about forming and storming. So today we get to come to norming. This is when things finally settle down and we're able to actually get to work. And the Avengers get to this point as well, although it takes a while.
Yeah, it takes us a while to get any traction, I'll give you that one.
Now, during this norming phase, the question of leadership, it's been resolved. We're no longer jockeying for position or trying to compete for influence. We know who's managing the team and driving the project forward. Furthermore, communication between the team members, it increases substantially during the norming phase. This means that issues are confronted head-on, not individual team members or personalities or work styles, but the actual work. It's being confronted head-on and addressed as necessary. Now, because of all this, the team can now stay focused on the objective. We're no longer vying for leadership or influence, we're communicating, and we know what needs to be done. This means that the team can now bring to bear all of its skills, talents, and experience to tackle this task at hand. This also means that the team moves past blame into responsibility. We're no longer looking at each other and blaming one another for the situation that we're in or what needs to be done and so on and so forth. We can now take and accept responsibility for the work that needs to be done. For example, we can see this when Cap calls upon Hawkeye to basically get his head in the game. He just walks by the fact that Hawkeye played a major role in bringing the Avengers down. He doesn't care about that. He's not interested in blame. He's interested in the objective.
You got a suit? Then suit up.
In fact, during the norming phase, everybody steps up. Even those who have been kind of traditionally quiet and reserved, they're called upon as well. And once again in the Avengers, we see this when Tony Stark calls Bruce Banner up to, suit up.
Stark, we got him.
Banner?
Just like you said.
Then tell him to suit up.
Finally, it's during the norming phase that we really understand the skills and talents and expertise that everybody contributes, and we recognize one another for this and ultimately value their contributions. We understand that we're all in this together and we all have something to contribute. So with all these aspects of the norming phase in mind, let's take a look at this close to final scene with the Avengers. Now, see if you can pick out the aspects of norming that come into play. Notice that Stark recognizes Captain America as the leader. Notice that Captain America is able to assign roles and responsibilities to each one of the team members based on the strengths that those members bring to the team. And see how everybody comes together to finally focus on the job at hand.
Guys?
Call it, Captain.
All right, listen up. Until we can close that portal, our priority is containment. Barton, I want you on that roof. Eyes on everything. Call out patterns and strays. Stark, you got the perimeter. Anything gets more than 3 blocks out, you turn it back or you turn it to ash. Thor, you gotta try and bottleneck that portal. Slow him down. You got the lightning. Light the bastards up. You and me, we stay here on the ground. We keep the fighting here. And Hulk. Smash.
Notice during this that nobody had a more important role than others, or that some were left out. Everybody had a vital role to play in reaching the objective. Also, notice that the roles assigned really played to the strengths of the individual team members. Everything you see here, this is norming at its finest. Now, you might be pausing and saying, well, now hold on, don't we have performing coming next? We do. But you know what? Don't underestimate the power of norming. In fact, many teams never really get out of norming, but that ain't too shabby. I mean, norming here contributed to one of the greatest superhero scenes in cinematic history. Norming is where everybody is contributing in a meaningful way that aligns with their strengths and working together to get the job done. And that's the essence of teamwork. That said, we always want to shoot for performing, and that's what we're going to do next, so I hope you'll stick with me. And man, that scene, right?